Everybody shut up and action. Jolly LLB 3. We've talked about Jolly LLB 1, we've talked about Jolly LLB 2, and now I finally watched the third movie. This movie was a banger. I loved it. Just like the first two, we had Jolly 1. He was a guy who had... both Jollies are essentially the same people. They both have their own selfish desires, and then they want to grow in the lawyer world. They want status, they want appreciation, they want respect, they want money, they want cases, they want people to rely on them with their cases, and they want to fight in court for justice for them, and they want to make money. Like, that's the key thing. Both these guys are poor. Both Jollies are poor. They're doing honorable work, wanting to fight for justice and whatnot, but they really want to make money. They want respect, and that's what they've done in the first two movies. And then they have this entire revelation of, you know what, whatever I want is irrelevant. I need to make sure these families get justice. They're not being represented properly. They're being undermined. They're being manipulated. There's power that are corrupt, and that is preventing them from facing justice for the crimes they faced. I need to fight and make sure they get the justice they deserve, and that the criminals get served justice as well. And they are really honorable to the point you're rooting for them, and that you're hooked to them, and you're rooting for them throughout their entire journey. Yeah, they might have been pieces of shit at one point, but then you're rooting for them and their change and their character growth, and you love them. This is the third movie. You've already established two Jollies, their entire struggles and who they are, and now we're going on to the third movie, and we're establishing right from the get-go, these Jollies know each other. They're working in the same lawyer area, and the second Jolly we saw is practically just being a little piece of crap, stealing all the cases that the first Jolly gets. Jolly 1 gets one case, he steals the case and runs the case for him, gets the payment, and Jolly 1 is like, oh, you know what, I was irresponsible, but you lost my case? Huh? What? Why won't I get paid? The other Jolly took the money? What the hell? Like, it's a little comedic, over-dramatic, melodramatic type of story right there, and then, like, you know, they're just getting pissed at one another, trying to teach each other's lessons in these ways. Oh, well, what, you know, I'll do your case for you. Oh, it's pro bono? Alright. A lot of work. You know, I'll cover your fees. Don't worry. But, like, you know, that's the Jolly you're looking for. And then the Jolly that keeps stealing cases is getting stuck dealing with a bunch of lawyer work where he doesn't make a penny out of it because, you know, these guys are looking for pro bono work in the name of justice. But, you know, he can't do that. He needs to make money too. And, like, a big part of the initial part of the movie is making you hate these guys once again. I mean, it's rinse and repeating the first two movies in terms of the emotional arc, where it's like, oh, I really dislike these guys. Oh, they have a change of heart moment, and now they're guys you want to root for. You want to see them find justice. You want to see them fight. You want to see them win the case. You want to see justice served appropriately. But, like, you know, it's repeating that arc, and right from the get-go, you're like, oh my god, you guys are just wasting so much time being stupid. Like, but it's just comedy that you kind of expected from these guys, because they're both idiots. Like, they both are genuine idiots who are smart at the same time, but, like, they are kind of dumb. Like, that is kind of clear at this point. Their behaviors establish that, and that's why they aren't really exactly the most respected in the lawyer community. But at the same time, these guys are honorable as hell. They want to be honest as hell. And, you know, these guys, they go into court, the case comes. Like, I know I'm probably summarizing this entire movie, but, like, that's what I want to talk about in this movie, because it really just does hook you deeply to the plot, to the story, to these characters. You are emotionally engaged to these guys. Like, you come hating them. Like, you're like, oh my god, what are you guys doing? All you care about is money once again? Why? Like, you learn, like, what you need to do, and, like, as the movie progresses, you come to understand, yeah, of course you're after money, you know, you have families, you have kids, you want to take care of your families, you want to take care of your kids, you, like, yeah, you want respect, but, like, that respect, you'll throw it aside easily just to make money, to make sure you can support your family. You might not be looking to be super rich or anything. I mean, you would probably like that, like, clearly, but at the same time, you wouldn't want that if you can't help people the way you want to help people. But at the very least, you want to be able to make the money so that you can help your families and keep them comfortable at the very least. I can understand that, and I love you for wanting to take care of your families. But at the same time, don't revert to your old ways of throwing cases at each other, not wanting to help people, and that's where you kind of get pissed off at these guys. Like, you guys fix yourself in the last two movies. Why are you guys behaving like this all over again? And then as the story progresses, you see, oh my god, we're going to have Jolly versus Jolly in a case where a woman, she has been done wrong, where farmers' lands are being stolen right from underneath them without permission. It's just being taken away from them. And Jolly's fighting for the guy who stole the land from them, and then he immediately realizes that they're in the wrong, and he's not going to stand by and just defend the people who are corrupt and doing these evil deeds, and he immediately switches sides and starts teaming up with other Jolly. Now we have two Jollies versus corruption. What more could you want? This is right from that point on. You're like, hell yeah, let's go, let's go. You immediately get hooked to the movie from that point on, and like, this movie just gets you emotionally hooked to these guys and how they fight this case, how they find for proof. The search for proof is difficult when you're fighting rich corruption, and the way they go through it, this entire movie has you hooked, and like, it just feels very fast paced after that entire change happens. It feels like a very fast paced movie in general, even though it's like 2 hours long. Like, oh, first half is like, okay, we're just gonna establish, or no, like the first third is like, oh, we'll establish these characters, they've reverted back to their old style in a way of being nonsensical, and then we establish the case that will be the key case of this film, and then we'll revert to the second case where they both lost their way and they both find their way back to being good guys, and the final part where it's like, yeah, you know what, we're gonna fight this evil guy and make sure justice is served. And when they fight and serve justice, oh my god, that feels so good. And the key thing in this movie that really hooks you in is the judge. Once again, this judge is an absolute amazing actor portraying him in Saurabh Shukla, I think that's his name, but like, regardless, the judge's character is amazing. Like, this guy, he opens and shuts cases all the time easily, with ease, and then like purposefully he stalls out this case because he can sense that something's wrong and that the truth is being jammed shut, and like, he, like, it might be a little, you know, unfair, corrupt judge type of conversation, like, you know, you're not closing this case immediately, even though there's all the proof we've given you is demanding that you close this case, even no under any circumstances, which is what the opposition's lawyers wants. But you know, the guy's like, you know what, I'll give them one more day, another court date, so they have time to figure out the truth, because he won't obviously say that to the opposition in their face, because he'll just get attacked for his judge license or whatever. But like, at the same time, there was one line he said which really strikes your heart. And it's that, I'm not gonna like quote it directly because I don't remember the quote word by word, but it was something along the lines of, these guys are poor because they are honest. And it really hints at like just this entire world where people, if you want to be rich in life, you have to lie, you have to do deeds that you might not be proud of, even if you are an honorable person, want to do everything the right way, want to be good to everyone. If you want to be rich, at some point you will have to do some things that you might not be proud of, or something or the other. I mean, that's not the case in every situation. There might be outliers where you can get rich without having to do bad things to other people, and it might not necessarily be like, oh, you know what, I screw you over entirely. It could just be, I don't know, something small and simple that isn't like super negative, but just something you're not proud of. No examples really come to mind immediately, but like, you know, in this case, it was more like, these guys, they just want to be honest. They don't want to conduct scams. They don't want to scam people out of their money, even though they have in the past. But they learn, they grow, they want to be good people who help people out. And in this case, they might be working pro bono, but like, they would do it because the case touches their heart. The reason they were passing cases back and forth is because they knew that if they listen to the case, it'll touch them to the heart, to the point where they'll feel guilty to not fight for their case, even if it means working for free, because they are honorable people, they are honest people. And at the same time, because they know they'll have to work for free and that'll prevent them from making money to take care of their families, they just want to pass the case without listening to it at all, because they know they'll be stuck wanting to fight for that case. And then, you know, they listen and they get attached and they get emotionally attached to the people in the story, and they want to help them out, and that's why they go on to fight the story. And the judge knows that these guys are honest. He's worked with them many times throughout the years, knows they're complete idiots, and he'll give them the chance to bring the truth to light. And that's how this case even got the chance to bring justice, because if he had just said, yeah, you know, they have all the proof against you, case closed, well, their justice would never have been served, and the farmers would have been wronged in this movie. But it's because of this judge that everything was able to go in place, and his trust that these guys will bring out the truth. He knew something was wrong, and that's why this case was being brought up to begin with, and he knows that these two will make sure the truth comes out. And yeah, he gave them the chance to do so. They tried to do whatever they could to shut them down, but they just gave him more and more they just, in the process of trying to shut them down, because the judge gave them that extra chance, they gave them more and more proof that they were desperately searching for, to prove them wrong and prove that the opposition was guilty, the guilty party 100%. And you know, that entire aspect of the movie really just hooks you in and just lives in your heart and makes you want to live your life as an honest, honorable person. Yeah, this movie really touches your soul. It might be a little goofy, but it really has its moments and its deeper aspects of the film that really just touch your soul, touch your heart, and makes you want to improve your life and improve yourself as a person. Good movie. I liked it. That is Jolly LLB 3. I liked it. Peace.